When I was an undergraduate at Dartmouth, I went through a period of time where I was obsessed with black and white photos. I really found the concept of how you decorated your space to be really evocative at the time, and I would seek out paintings, photographs, literary magazines, poems to print out and decorate my wall with these collages. I loved both abstract and realist art. I was particularly interested in the way sculpture could reflect the human condition. I went through a period where watercolors were, to me, an excellent representation of the ephemerality and the liminality of the human form. And while I did have friends, while I did socialize often, going to parties, my favorite place was just to look through these art magazines in one of Dartmouth's many libraries. And I was so lucky, I didn't fully grasp at the time how once in a lifetime the reading opportunity was, because they had every single literary magazine I could possibly want to look through, every single art magazine, and they also had the archives of every issue that had ever come out. So I could, read a poem in the Paris Review and then say what poem was published the week I was born, or what New Yorker short story was published the week I was born, and go down into the basement archives and find these big binders full of these ancient literary journals. I would often sketch animals to myself as I would, peruse through these magazines or as I would read. And at the time, my grandmother had just passed away, and we had had a connection over our love of elephants. And I was really besotted, I don't know if that's the appropriate word, I was really taken with this idea of a larger elephant protecting its baby and what that baby feels when the larger elephant is gone. I remember at the time I would spend a lot of my days kind of wandering around in between classes and writing sessions and research sessions, thinking about art and abstraction and how human history had recorded itself. And I was particularly interested about people at the margins, like BIPOC people, queer people, people whose voices were historically silenced, how they both wrote and created accurate representations of their lives, but also found ways to code themselves into more mainstream things. I also, during my black and white period, was really fascinated by just the concept of noir, how it could queer an image, what the upside down world of reflection could do to a landscape. I also spent a lot of time in the school's art museum.